your boy toys. They're just sexy boys.
And welcome to Wrestle Fandom After Dark. With me, as always, is Wrestle Fandom Radio champion Coffin, and our guest today is none other than Arab Money, Blaze Haram. What is up? Thank you for joining us.
Y'all, a lot more on.
Thank you for joining.
Thank
How's
you. It's
it
a
going?
pleasure, man. Chilling, man. It's been a minute, man. Thank you for having me.
No, haven't seen you since now the UWE break, so it's been a few, but we're happy you could join us.
Yeah, Coffin, haven't seen you in a while either, man.
I know it's been a little bit. How you been, brother?
All is well, man.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. But let's get to it, man. Let's chop it up, man. What's going on?
Well, the main point of this entire thing is just essentially just to shine you guys up. That's all we want to do. We want to bring local wrestlers in this area, the people that we work with, the people that I wrestled with, well, you guys wrestled with, the people I usually just got beat up by, and all that. We want to bring all of you guys right to the forefront and make sure we're talking about so people know what you went through. There's a good account. Everyone can look back and see what you did and see you telling it. So tell us where it all started. How did it start? We'll bring it.
If y'all don't know, first and foremost, I've announced that I've been retired from the ring, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, as far as the in-ring stuff, but as we talked earlier, you know what I'm saying? We talked a while back, so
yeah,
of certain things, but aside from that, Blaze Haram is, as far as the whole Blaze Haram thing, in ring, I'm done. And it's not a physical, it's not a physical thing. I'm not hurt. You know what I mean? I'm still juicy as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could still take bumps. I'm pretty healthy, but it's just other things. But we'll get to it. But this whole wrestling shit started. Been a fan since I was 5-6 years old. You know what I mean? My earliest memories was watching the Saturday Night Main Event when $1 Million Man unveiled the fucking $1 Million title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And been a fan since, and always wanted to pursue the dream of like any other kid, you know what I mean, growing up that was a fan of wrestling, wanted to be a pro wrestler, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I got my first try around, I did the backyard shit with my friends and stuff, 14, 15, we walking around mattresses collecting. Walking around the hood collecting mattresses. We used to go to the dollar store buying fucking cookie sheets and
Yeah. I did exactly that. Yeah.
Truth be told, I threw myself at 15. I threw myself through a flaming table. I took a razor's edge.
Through a flaming table?
Yeah.
I went through share tables straight to the ground too. Like
I actually have it on video, but it's one of those 8mm tapes, so I got to convert it.
Yeah, that's what we have. We have a place around here. We I don't want to jump in on your episode about that.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, man, I have it. But from there, fast forward a couple of years, I signed up for Johnny Rod's school at Gleason's Gym in Brooklyn when I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and I trained for about 3 months, but that motherfucker expensive, So at the time, I didn't have a job, I was working minimum wage. I had a job, but shit wasn't paying shit,
Right.
But I couldn't do it. So I trained for a couple months. I got caught up in a little trouble, went away for a little bit, came home and got back into training again, moved upstate. I started training with Extreme Wrestling Alliance with Gorgeous Jerry Idol, and that same spot where Christina Marie and Rick Recon, guys, Shockwave, Robot, all those guys came out of that pool, and I got my thing there. And funny story, for those who don't know, everybody has a wrestling dad, you know what I mean?
Right.
That brought him into the business. For me, it's Mr. Man.
Mr. Man.
Yeah,
Mr. Man.
Shout out to Mr. Man. He came to the school one time, and he seen me, training and stuff, taking bumps. And he asked my trainer, why ain't I working? And he was like, I'm not ready. And Mr. Man said, he's ready. Fuck you talking about? You know what I mean? So fast forward, I think it was Immortal Championship Wrestling second or third show, I believe. It was their first show in Schenectady at the Armory.
Yep. I remember your first shot. I was there. I shot your first promo there.
All right.
Yeah, I have it. I have it on my phone.
Wow, that's
He keeps
crazy.
everything. He doesn't get rid of anything, man.
That's funny. So Mr. Man booked me for that show. And we're in the locker room and he was like, yo, don't fuck this up. You know what I mean? So I went out, did my thing, came back, he gave me a hug.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been on since. And I started, fast forward there, I started getting booked in other promotions, you know what I mean?
So did you actually then wrestle in XWA at all? Or
yeah, I did. I wrestled in XWA. I still did, up until I retired, but
right. Yeah. What other promotions? Any of the Connecticut or Massachusetts
I've been
ones or
all
anything?
throughout the Northeast. I've been all throughout the Northeast, South, Canada, so been some places, but mainly the Northeast, really, you know what I mean?
Right.
I did Titan Championship Wrestling in Jersey. I did my run through Jersey, Massachusetts. I've done Showcase Pro Wrestling, Royal Crown Wrestling, shit. There's so many,
No, no, it's probably harder.
Yeah, but my main ones, was that I worked for on a regular basis was Immortal Championship Wrestling and Titan Championship Wrestling. Those were like, home base right there,
Right. Right.
See, I remember the first time I really got to see you in Immortal was where I actually got to watch you. It was a handicap match with you and Mr. Man against Len Adi at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, it's Schenectady. That was a hardcore match.
Oh my god, and that was so great.
Like, yeah,
I remember that match.
Back. Yeah, I took the Samoa drop from the top rope onto Thumbtack.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
And that's where I was able to watch, and I was like, damn, okay, I'm a fan. Okay. That's good shit right there.
No.
Like,
but yeah,
not much stands out to me from that show, but like it all surrounds that match because it's the match itself, and then it's before the match where Len forgot he had left some adult toys in his bag of tricks, and he pulled them out and was trying to run through a crowd of children.
Yeah. I pulled that shit out. He had a
a
double-headed dildo in the bag, and I pulled it on the locker room. I was like, no, you're not doing that.
No, you can't do that. Len, you can't do that. I like, the Facebook algorithm is weird, and like sometimes you won't see a post from somebody depending on when they're like. One day I just saw this picture of this dude on my Facebook, and I was like, "Who the hell is this dude sharing a picture of it?" It was Len without his makeup, and I was like, "Never seen him." He showed up at shows with his makeup already on. I never once saw this dude. I never once saw his actual face. And unlike Sting loses his. Len could wrestle. That match he wrestled with you, and it looked untouched. I don't know what he put on his face. At one point I actually questioned if he tattooed it. I'm not even joking. And that guy was wild. He's awesome.
Nah, he was fun to work with. But yeah, I've been all throughout the Northeast. Worked countless names. You know what I mean? I've done shit with Heath Slater at what was this promotion? It was one in Jersey. Oh, Short Star Wrestling in Jersey.
Okay.
I got super kicked by Heath Slater. Then we ended up working a tag match. I've worked the Patriot. I've done shit with Vicky, I had Immortal Championship Wrestling and Teddy Long. Did the joint the 6-man with James Storm, with Ben and Papa Don. Shit. I've done shit with the Sandman in Jersey, Worked Daisy Kills. He's from NWA.
Okay.
He was a former NWA US tag champ. Yeah, I worked him. I worked Savio Vega,
Oh man, how was that?
That was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that was fun. He it was funny because I pulled up, me and You guys know who Scott is? He does the Russian gimmick for XWA. The fuck he goes by
I don't think so.
Kenny Casanova manages him. But anyways, he got like a raw Soviet gimmick. So me and him, you know, we rolled up together, and Savio, he told the guy in Spanish, he's like, that's the Arabic, unbeknownst to him that I'm Spanish. You know what I'm saying? I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
You know? He has no idea. He thinks I'm Arabic. So he's like, ¿Es el árabe? So I'm just quiet. You know what I mean? So then when we started going over the match, you know what I mean? I started kicking it in Spanish. He was like, oh, tú hablas español.
That's funny.
Yeah, so we basically called the whole match in Spanish.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun, you know?
Where was that? I'm sorry. I don't know if I missed that. Where was that?
That was in Massachusetts for Royal Crown Wrestling.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
So, I mean, you've been like all over. You got trained by some fucking legit legends and shit in places where legends have come from. I mean, you've been everywhere. You've done it all, it seems, so far. Like, that's fucking awesome. Like I've known you on and off for years, and I knew some of it, but not all of it. And like I love hearing like where you've been and what you've done, man. This is great.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, because as friendly as you can be when you're talking to people with about match stuff that you got to do, that you got to work. You know, people whose asses you don't have to kick. You know, when you're backstage, you'll talk to us a lot, but we don't learn everything. You know what I mean? Like, I've never called you anything but Blaze. I've never said.
Guys, hold on 1 second.
You know?
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, guys, give me a sec. We got a guest.
Take your time.
But yeah.
Look at the little one.
There we go.
Yeah, shit I've done as far as like with Immortal and shit, you know, that was a lot of the stuff I've done there, especially, you know, obviously me and the stuff I've done with Ben, you know.
Yeah, you that was a big long run.
Yeah, man. Like that was like the most fun time I had there, you know what I mean, working with Ben, you know.
Yeah.
You guys were effective too. Because the amount of times where I'd be out back or whatever, fans would be like, listen, real money just hurt Blaze and Ben. Nah, get out of here. We're cool with them. We're cool with them. Don't worry about them. We fucking hate them. Take them out. It's no. I'm not taking your money for that. I mean, I'll take your money, but
that would have been fun.
Your money, but it's happen.
Yeah, but
I mean, that had a few years, right? That was the few that you guys were rolling in Immortal together, right?
Oh, yeah, a couple of years. Like 3-4 years, damn near. You know.
Yeah.
I'm one of Immortal's day ones, man. I've been there since their second show. You know, so.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I wasn't treated like a day one, but you know, that's some bullshit. You know what I mean? But it's all good.
Yeah, that's how it'll be. You know. It's
at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I don't suck dick for a spot, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
You know, I do what I do.
Does.
Get booked, do my thing, and go fuck home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to do what I got to do. All right, Coffee. Yeah. Some of us are so talented and gifted in other places, all right? I got to do what I got to do.
Motherfuckers putting their knee pads to overtime, you know what I mean?
He's on his fourth person starting this, so yeah.
So while we're on Immortal and rolling with Ben, like, how many championships then happened there? Because I know you guys are tag champs at least.
I mean, shit, we were the longest reigning tag champs.
Right. And then even that was twice then still, right? Like, not only longest reigning, but then was it multiple times?
No, just one time.
It was just one time?
Yeah, just one time. Yeah. But I had the Northeast Championship, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep, I took that from Rick Recon. We had a few.
The Middle Eastern Championship. It was renamed as.
Yep. Fucking 2-time most hated, you know what I mean? Superstar of the
Yes.
year, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
and you earned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just recently had the fucking cup, the Stone Brew Cup.
Oh yeah, the 16 Stone Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. And then at Titan Championship Wrestling, I had the it's called the North American Championship.
Okay.
Yeah, I had that. I had the Hardcore Championship there. Another promotion, I had the Hardcore Championship there, which I still have the title because they don't run no more. So
Oh, see, you retired with the title? That's awesome.
yeah, so basically
Nice.
the title's in my closet.
What company was that?
That was one in I think it was Asylum Pro Wrestling. It was out in PA. You know?
Asylum Pro Wrestling. That's
Oh,
who
I
you
heard of
got.
that one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of Asylum. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
See, that's what's
Yeah,
gonna happen
so-
with Garrett and with the WFR belt. He's gonna forget I have it, but he also doesn't know where I live. So like, he's not getting it back. If I
I'll
play
find
it.
out. I'll find out. Someone will tell me.
Who?
That's funny.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But someone will give it up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but overall, yeah, I had a fun ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had a fun ride. You know, aside from the bullshit. You know what I mean? But
And there's a
you
lot
know,
of
I
it.
can at least
Like I
I
said,
could go back and say, you know, I live my dream. You know what I mean?
right. So do you have any like favorite matches or standout moments from, I mean, even if it's like, oh, I did this in this place, or I did this in that place, and that was my favorite of, like, do you have any like favorites from any of the places?
Oh yeah, for sure. The match I had with Heath Slater, that was fun. You know, because the dude that I wrestled, he has remember those plush toys from back in the 80s, My Pet Monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's his gimmick. You know what I mean? He walks around with a My Pet Monster. You know what I mean? He talks to it and shit. You know what I mean?
All
So he
right.
involved it in the match, so that was like fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the match I had with Daisy Kill from NWA, that was fun too. You know what I mean? We had a very solid. It reminded me of a house show match. Like looking back at it, I was like, "Yo, there's some shit y'all could watch on fucking Live in the Garden or something." You know what I mean? It was,
Right.
yeah, like
Right.
it had that kind of vibe. You know? Yeah. And then as far as like rivalries and stuff, I had a good rivalry with Rick Recon. You know, that was cool. You know, we actually took it to I think 7 or 8 different promotions.
That's
You know?
right.
Yeah, we had a 2-year
That's
long
right.
cage match.
Oh, I forgot
fucking
about how
last
that
man
went.
standing match. You know?
Yeah. And they were all promoting each other
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
that. And I remember not seeing anything quite like that around here, especially
No,
with the
no.
promotion it was born out of. Like, to work with another one and say, no, then their next match is going to be at this place, at this promotion for the, and I was like, that's wild. And that was really cool. I
That's
never
some
saw
territory
that.
shit.
Yeah, I never saw it. And I kept trying to talk people into that. And I was trying to talk to other promotions and be like, if we all work together, we'll make a lot of money. And
Yeah.
everyone's just like, no, this is my territory and that's their territory and they can have it.
Stupid, yeah. They're fucking done with that fucking territory bullshit. It's not the 80s no more, man. Get over it.
I was just like, it made my head hurt. And I'm like, we could all just.
That's why you
this
see
is-
promotions like MLW or like GCW or like I'm not gonna say TNA because they work with the E, but you know, like big indie promotions like that, or like even a smaller one like Big Time Wrestling. You know what I mean? Like they're a traveling promotion, and you know, so is GCW. Why? Because they work with other promotions. You know what I mean? Like they all eat. You know what I mean? And that just opens doors to other shit. You know?
Well,
Absolutely.
the thing, like at one time we had what, like 4 or 5 promotions just in New York that we could have worked together with. That like you say, about 75% of the locker rooms work for all the same things. The virus said, let's fucking go, but nobody wants to hear it. And that's why now we went from that many to how many promotions?
Word.
You're,
too.
Top, you're cracking up a little bit. See if you can reload.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
You're cracking up the no. I mean, like the literal line is cracking up on us. It's a little hard. I can understand what you're saying, but it's a little hard to hear. I don't know if you need to reload. You can do that. It won't mess anything up.
But yeah, man.
Being able to travel, in New York and all that, everywhere where you are, and that's big and should be bigger, And
Mhm.
I want to say like a lot of the Rochester and Buffalo people are way better about it than when it comes this way. You know what I mean? It seems better. They all the Buffalo Rochester people, they just come and they're like, we're wrestling, who are we wrestling, what are we doing? Let's go. You know what I mean? They go to stuff, they're all happy, and then the further that way you go, it's like, no, it's not, or a little south too. You're like, let's all make something awesome. Won't even message you. And it's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it'd be like that, man. These guys is just stuck in their ways, but that's why they don't grow. You know what I mean? They're just
yeah,
and you have your
Yeah.
your little 60 to 100, 150 little fans. You know what I mean? That come to every one of your shows. You know what I mean? But
right,
those are money that you already rely on. You know what I mean?
right,
Want to go out and get more.
absolutely. And then obviously, I mean, I know you were still doing other stuff and taking other bookings, but then you were also wrestling, taking people out in UWE as well. The last promotion that I was working with as well. So always fun seeing you there. Coming in,
for sure.
handling like always. So that was always always
being
cool.
there
Always
with the young guys who knew who Blaze was, and like Garrett had said, you're a little standoffish as you should be for your stature, but the new guys would be like, shit, that's Blaze. And I've always been approachable for whatever fucking reason. Like, should I talk to him? Like, no, leave him alone. Say hi, don't bother him. He will fucking eat. He will eat you alive. Just leave him alone.
That was a lot of the fun shit. You know what I mean? As being doing the heel gimmick. You know what I mean? Because I'd be out there in character. You know what I'm saying? And people would try to talk to me on some shoot shit, and I hit them with some character, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
Because it's like once we've been around, yeah, it's like we've been around for a while. Okay, hey, how's it going? This and that. Talk shit. Go out, have a smoke, or whatever the fuck. But the young guys would be like, oh shit, you hit them with that, and their face would be, okay, yes, stay away from him. Don't mess with him. He'll fuck you up. Okay, yeah, he's for real. He's for real. Don't worry about him. And
it's funny.
Eventually, like 2 of them figured it out, but like the rest of them, I don't tell them. No, fuck you. You're a young boy. Go away. You don't matter. Just go.
Or the one like be real good. Ward, tell him you're gonna do it, and then send one of the real young kids after, be like, "Who do you think you're talking to?" just to mess with them, just to scare the shit out of them. It'd be so good.
I do that with Ben. Watch Ben. Oh, okay.
It's funny. But yeah, that was a lot of the fun shit, you know what I'm saying, as far as like doing the whole heel shit, going out there and just being a piece of shit with the people and getting away with it.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Although there were certain times, like I had my limits, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't OD, you know what I mean? But at one point I did, you know what I mean? And I could rewind back. I believe it was the show, it was a show in St. Johnsville. And there was like these country boys. There was like an older guy, he had like one eye with like fucking cataract on the other, you know what I mean? He looked fucking, and then like his kid was there, his mother, some lady. So then he was just talking mad shit to us, you know what I mean? So we talking shit back, and then he started taking it serious. So I said, sit your ass down, Cyclops.
Well, thank you, man. That's what they paid for.
He got what he deserved, I guess.
And then what was it? Yeah, I said, sit your ass down, Cyclops. You look like my dick. And then so fucking Ben and Papa Don come over, and then then fucking Papa Don goes, that's your wife? And he goes, Ben, no, Papa Don goes to the guy, that's your wife? And then Ben goes, nah, that could be his wife or his sister. It could be both.
Out there, it's fucking possible too. Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's could be it could be D all the above out there, you know.
That was funny. Yeah, we caught a vein that night, man. That shit was hilarious.
That's
too, man,
awesome.
like, good job, you're a crowd. But like, for as white as I am, hunting, fishing, all that shit, even I go there. I'm like, these are some white motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit! It's like fucking.
Yeah,
It's a banjo
Security
with simple
came,
strings, though. That's the
security
thing.
came, took them out, and then they brought him back later in the show. And then Papa Don was on the main event. So then when he came, one of the kids that was with that guy had a bag of fucking Sun Chips. Papa Don snatched it and crushed it on the floor and kept walking back in his entrance.
But you know what? You know what that is? That's a memory for that kid.
yeah.
He's never gonna forget the fucking bald guy that fucking crushed
Papa
his
Don,
chips.
he destroyed my chips, you know. Like,
Yeah.
It's fun messing with them, man. Like there was one night in Canada Harry. It was Shane Stetson's debut, and fucking Chip was there, and he brings me to the curtain. He goes, "You see that group of about 70 people?" I say, "Yeah." He goes, "That's all Chip's like friends and his girlfriends, family and stuff." He goes, "I didn't let him in into what's going on here." Enough said. Enough said. So we go out, beat down Shane with a fucking billy club and beat Chip up, and I just fucking spun right around to him. I damn near got a fucking riot started. Like Shane's girlfriend's holding her dad back and shit. I'm like, "Come on, let's go. Come on. Oh, fucking, when you can get them so riled up that they're about ready to fucking riot, it's like that makes you feel so warm and fuzzy inside.
It does.
Oh, I love it.
You're
That's a
doing a
good
good
feeling.
job. You're doing a real good job. When they
Yeah.
hate you for real, you know, you're doing a good job.
Yeah, we got heat one time. Me and Ben, when we did when I worked the cage match with Recon, it was called the Iraqi prison match. It was a gimmick match. So it was no ropes, steel cage with barbed wires. And Ben was on the outside, you know. And then they had this other guy on Recon's side named Merc, who I had a feud with. He was like a U.S. Marine gimmick, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, we were on the outside. What the fuck was I talking about? I forgot what.
Iraqi match.
Huh? Oh yeah, the Iraqi prison match. Yeah. So that was from when we came in, and they announced us, and that was the first time they heard us get announced as 911 pounds, and you know, like our normal shit, you know, like we do that everywhere else. Everybody knows, you know what I mean? But they never heard it there. Dude, the fucking crowd started throwing shit at the fucking cage.
Oh no!
And then Ben was like, "We are here in the name of Muhammad," you know, because he sent us here for you morons to not live any longer.
I remember the first time I don't know how long you guys had been doing that when I heard. So I don't know if like the first time I heard it was the first time I used it, but I was doing something and I was in Rome because I remember exactly where I was standing. You know, the door to go out under the bleachers. I was standing right next to the door, and they said that, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
That's funny. If a lot of people don't notice, or maybe you guys do, I don't know, but most of our entrances when they announce us, we're from somewhere different.
Yeah,
right.
Most of the entrances, you know, like one day we're from Guantanamo Bay. Next show we might be from fucking Epstein Island. You know,
right? Yeah. It's that, but like it was 911 pounds that I was like, no, they did not. Like, yeah, and they did too. Like, Ben came back, and I was like, really, 911 pounds? He goes, yep. He just kept walking.
It's fucking instant heat, man.
Yeah, instant. You don't have to do like anything. Like you don't have to do anything else. They just hate you. It's
You know,
amazing.
that's the fun thing about being a heel. You know what I mean? You don't gotta do much. You know.
Right.
No.
You know, it's one of those less is more. You know, when you do more than less, you know, it gets lost in translation sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
people get lost. I'm like, all right, that was cool. On to the next. You know,
Right.
want to leave them with something memorable. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing, man. I
So-
always made sure at the end of every show, man, that every match I've worked, whether it was Immortal or whether it was out in Jersey, PA, wherever, you know what I mean? I always made sure I made an impact on the way out. Like I always made sure I made something, you know what I mean, that made them remember who the fuck I am at the end of the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at all the people that hated you guys in bin, but then I would line up for 5 face slap.
Oh, $5 face slap.
$5
Classic.
You know,
slap.
Classic
it's
stuff
like-
right there, man.
especially with the heels. Like I would like before I got in the ring, I was on the outside a lot, and I you know, the kids would be talking shit. Don't talk to your father like that. You're not my dad. Ask your mom; she knows. And I'd walk away. And we were always like on the first half of the card, but then like at intermission, that kid was coming to buy shit from me. Like, I hate you, but give me a
Right.
shirt, give me this, give me that. And then you don't get that when you're a face. You don't get that, you know, if you suck. And Blaze and Ben, you guys always had a crowd, you know. So as much as they might hate you, they want to be near you. They want to get your shit. They want to buy your gimmick,
They
and
wanna
then
be in
hate you at the
city.
next show.
Yeah.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's one
And
thing, man. Like the thing with me and Ben, like we worked together not only at Immortal, you know what I mean? We took our shit to other promotions too, you know?
Oh yeah.
Did you go to Canada with him? Because I know he was in Canada. He was doing Canada there for.
I didn't get the chance to get when he was doing his last couple shows in Canada.
Mhm.
Like I was supposed to do one with him, but I couldn't make it, unfortunately. But I think it was around the time of my mother's passing, so I couldn't go.
Sorry.
But now, like we've done Jersey together, we've done PA, you know what I mean, a couple other spots, and you know, throughout this New York, you know.
Yeah.
So it was fun, man. You know, one thing with us, man, like, yeah, you know, we do the foreign arrow gimmick, you know, with the chic boots, yada yada, has been done before, but it hasn't. You know what I mean? Like the shit we done, it hasn't been done before. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we some hood motherfuckers, man. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Like,
know?
that's very. It's you know, you're even WWE's at its craziest. Never it couldn't do what you guys were doing.
Nah.
Ever. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
even when they were doing Muhammad Hassan there in the E, it was still cartoonish
Nah.
right.
to a
Yeah.
point. Whereas Ben and Blaze were fucking real, and then you throw in
Yeah.
GGP, so it's real.
Nah.
Yeah.
And
They're saying stuff to you, you know, like even the first time I ever saw Ben, like, I walked into a 2CW show, I had never been to like an indie show ever, and it's at Kennedy Arena. I'm 5 steps into the ring part, and Ben's table is the first table, and it's me and 2 of my friends, and Roger is like my height, but like huge dude, and like Stu's not, you know, the shorter, but not like a small dude. And we come walking in, and he goes, "Oh, look, it's the Virgin Brigade." And I was like, "What?" And I just listened to this dude for like 5 minutes, and then the people after us, he got them too, and he was on fire that night. And I was like, "Yo, I love this dude," you know. And then like, you know, how many years later, then there I am in the back, you know, getting to work with him and shoot, you know, you know, dozens and dozens and dozens of promos for him, you know, so, you know, which is always fun shooting promos for you guys. So
Nah, for sure, man. You know, that was again, you know, that was most of the fun times I've had working with Ben, man. You know, I learned a lot working with him and Papa Don as far as like heel work, you know. Shouts to them both, you know what I mean? Them dudes is masters at that shit, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You know, if anybody,
yeah,
you know, if
that's
you're
two of the best.
ever in the locker room with any of them motherfuckers, pay attention, you know what I mean? Because you're gonna learn something,
Yeah.
you know. Sure.
Papa Don can get somebody, he can get you to the whole crowd inside the ring when he was going. Oh yeah, it was genius psychology, in the ring, messing with people. So
Nah, for sure.
that was
Yeah,
awesome.
but working with him was fun, but yeah, man, I've done a lot of cool shit, so I'm
Yeah.
happy with that. I'm content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How
How long were you wrestling then before you went to Immortal?
Sheesh, like a year or two.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the span of everything that would probably be like 6 or 7 years then altogether.
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I have a
8-year
nice,
run, man. That's good.
yeah, nice 8-year run. But I might be retired from, I'm retired from in ring definitely. But shit, I'm open to manager.
Right.
I'm open to be a manager at some point. Down the
Yeah.
line.
Managing's
Yeah,
fun too.
I'd make a nice heel
Fucking-
manager. But my own
Hell
version
yeah.
of Horton. Yeah, but a lot of these shows don't fuck with me, man. That's why I fell back. You know what I mean? You see, a lot of these indie shows is too family friendly for the type of shit I do. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. If they're trying to keep it, family friendly, or and it's some people aren't aware that there's, just like anything else, there's sometimes backstage politics, and if you're not willing to play the game or you don't know the right people, it just gets a little weird. And if you don't have, I don't want to mess with it. You know what I mean? It's like you can take it or leave it. Is my how
I'd always said with like Immortal or something like that, like, okay, family friendly, but like every month let's do a teen or an R-rated show, and
Right.
Adults only, or enter at your own risk, because anything's gonna fucking happen, but nobody wants to go for that because it doesn't make money. All right, I get that, but at the same time, that's gonna add intrigue.
Right.
And that'd be something for like Blaze would fucking shine, But
Yeah.
People gotta understand, like a lot of these shows, like, yeah, you get a lot of kids and stuff, but you get a lot of adults too. And how do I put it? Like, I'm not here promoting violence or like, encouraging the shit, you know what I'm saying? But as far as pro wrestling goes, people love that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just sells.
It's controlled violence. It's where and everyone knows that they're getting a show. So if you see somebody go through a door, you get to chant "Holy shit," and that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
But and not for nothing, but some of the most vilest things I've heard come from fans was from the smaller children.
Oh yeah, you hear some.
So how many times I've got sent to the prank stand from fucking young kids? You know what I mean? So I stuck my dick in the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The most I've ever been called, homophobic slurs was from 10 years old and under. It's like right next to their fucking parents who are laughing along. So it's like, don't give me that bullshit, family friendly.
Yeah. Go home and play Fortnite. Get out of here.
Oh, they do, and that's where they learn the language. You ever been in a yeah. Blaze, you got any hobbies you like to do now that you're retired? Like personally, I like making single moms, but like
nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do that. I'm getting married in December.
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Yeah,
awesome.
So, definitely looking forward to that.
That's
but
awesome.
Right now, shit. Gary knows. Prior to me getting into pro wrestling, I was actually I was heavy in the hip hop music. I was a recording artist. I do beats. I rap and stuff. So
I was out. Pyrex is still banging.
Oh, you like
I love
Pyrex?
this song. I do. His song Pyrex. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the whole album, but like Pyrex, I was like, yo, that song is killer. I
gotta hear this now.
Yeah, so I got I'm slowly working my way back into doing shit. You know what I mean? I feel like I got a clearer mind as far as doing music, independently, and I'm not looking for no record deal or nothing like that. I'm doing it because I can and because I'm nice. You know what I mean? So,
That's the thing about
I'm
nowadays. You don't need a record deal.
I'm definitely for sure, yeah. Definitely looking forward to that. I got some bangers, with some notable producers. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to push shit out like that. I just recently put out a record. I put out a song a couple of weeks ago with this West Coast artist, Planet Asia.
Okay.
He's from out from like the Fresno area.
All right.
So I did it. I got put out a little joint with him. I got out, so I'll send it to you guys. You take a listen.
Yeah. Is it online or is it
yeah. It's on all
YouTube and all
streaming
that?
platforms. You can find it. It's called The
Yeah.
Setup. Sunblaze featuring Planet Asia.
Yeah, because also people got to know where to look for you as a rap name. It's different than your wrestling name. So.
Oh yeah. So as my artist name, I go by Sunblaze, SUNBLAZE. I keep the Blaze because that's been a nickname since my teens.
Is it? And it's one word, right? One. So people, so they know too.
Yeah. One word.
Yeah. Just making sure that they know.
Yep. So I got a couple joints out on all streaming platforms. There's an album I actually did with a West Coast producer named Kike Cruz. It's called what the fuck we called it? Shit. I put it out in 2016, but it's out there. I got a couple other joints I did that's out, and you can just put my name on the search and you'll find it.
All right.
But yeah, I've been working on slowly recording, work my way back into making music and stuff again.
Absolutely.
The music.
I'm just trying to look it up so I can trying to find it here. Hold on.
Where are you looking it up at?
YouTube. The YouTube music.
Oh, it's called The Setup. Sunblaze featuring Planet Asia.
Yeah, put the link in the description. Do you know how to do that?
I'd have to do it on here, and I'm not trying to mess it up because you know me.
Spotify or iTunes or anything?
I'll get it on Spotify.
This?
I can't hear it. Yep, that's it.
I don't want to get tagged. I don't want to take it down. Like, no, I had the guy on. Don't flag me. I had one of the rappers is there. I'm gonna finish listening to it when we're done.
Yeah. But yeah, check it out. You know what I mean? You'd sunblazehiphop.bandcamp.com. You can go check that shit out right there.
Bandcamp,
yeah. If you want to download it, for your own personal, or you could check it out on all digital streaming platforms.
All right.
Yep. Look out for more music. I got a production from Psycho Les from the Beat Nuts. I got
Nice.
Necro. I got beats from him. A couple other artists, So looking forward to putting those joints out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to that show.
Oh yeah, the 420 shut concert. Yep. Ghostface. It's Ghostface, Raekwon, Method Man, Jim Jones, and Remy Ma, and there's like a bunch of reggae dudes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I got floor seats.
That's
Nice.
That's gonna be so amazing. Like,
I'm gonna be at my Wu-Tang fanboy shit.
Oh yeah. Dude. When I tell you, because I haven't actually, I don't know if did I see you face to face since the not Wu-Tang show, the Inspector Deck show. What is this? What's the name of the
Czarface? Oh no,
Czarface.
Yeah.
Have I seen you since? Yeah. I hear because I look like this. Okay, like I'm fully aware of how I look. So, when I was like, I'm wearing this Wu-Tang jacket. this killer, awesome, amazing Wu-Tang jacket. I'm wearing it. I'm going. And I'm like, and Coffin, when I tell you too, I was like, when I'm like, I'm gonna get the weirdest looks. People are gonna be like, what is this old white dude doing wearing a Wu-Tang jacket? And from the second I walked in the door, I was a hit. I'm talking like the guy who works for them, who was selling the merch, was just like, he's like, oh my god, he's like feeling it. He's like, this is the coolest jacket. The promoter took pictures of me. Those are the ones I sent to you. And then where I was standing, I was kind of sitting like there was a spot where there were some stairs like on the other side of this wall, and I was like, there's this little bit of ledge I could sit on, so like my back wouldn't, just kill me from just standing up straight all, for 6 hours. And there was a lot of the rappers were coming back to where we were and standing there. That's where they were like getting their stuff, because we were kind of right by the table, the merch table. They would go and do their set and come back and be like, people would be like, good job, good job, good job. And I swear 3 rappers in a row were like, yo, how was that? I was like, fuck you care if I I'm like, what do you care about what I think? I'm like, it was great. But what do you care about what I think?
That's funny.
It's like I somehow turned into like the suit. The people were coming. They're like, "That's the dopest jacket I've ever seen." I'm like, I know,
dude. I know, because those jackets are limited edition. My boy, shout outs to Guns and Butters. You know what I mean? That's my boy All Wise Company. You know what I mean? He produces those. So far he's put out the Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Raekwon, and MF Doom and Big Pun.
Right. Yeah. If you want to see some of the most insane clothing you've ever seen, gunsandbutters.com. It's with Z's. All right. In there.
Yeah,
and it's
check it out on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, shit, you go on the website, gunsandbutters.com,
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And people were just like all literally the whole night. And I was just like, this went the exact opposite of what I thought it was gonna be. Like, what's this old dude doing wearing a Wu-Tang jacket? Now everyone loved it. Loved it was so wild. It was awesome.
Man. He does this thing with them jackets, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere I go and I'm wearing any of them, somebody stopped. Dude, I was at a Sixers game out in PA in Philly. It was Sixers against Mavericks. I had my black MF Doom jacket. And this fucking guy that he's working a concession stand, just goes over, runs to me like a fucking maniac. And he's like, dude, I saw you walk from all the way down there. I had to fucking come and see you. I'm a big MF Doom fan. Where'd you get this jacket? I'm like,
yeah. And that's what I showed that website to like, I at one point I just left it up on my phone and just locked my phone. Because after the 4th time I pulled it up, then I just like, I'm going to stop closing it. And I just click the screen off and I just unlock it and boom, it was right there. Look, Guns and Butters. It's right here. And here's all their stuff. And yeah. And I was like, yeah, the promoter knew it. I walked up, he goes, is that a Guns and Butters jacket? I was like, yeah, it is. The
promoter knows, he actually knows the dude. He knows my boy.
Yeah. That's what he said. So he was a great dude.
He does other shit with like West Side Gun out in Buffalo and Benny the Butcher, Conway and shit.
Yeah, I know. He said they were gonna do. It was out where they normally are, but they were gonna do a hip hop show and a wrestling show at the same time. I think was the one thing he was doing or wanted to do, or something along those lines. It was really long.
Cool. West Side Gun.
No, that promoter.
Oh yeah, West Side Gun did something like that. He is called Full Rope. Yeah, because he worked. He also did wrestling stuff and he did hip hop. He's like, I'm trying to do both. I'm trying to put them together. It was really cool. Yeah. A lot of wrestling fans is hip hop fans too, man.
Yeah, it works. It's blend all the lines. It's all there. You even see it at cons. The Nickel City con out in Buffalo that I always take my kids to. More wrestlers every year. Ric Flair and Lita and Trish and the Hardys and the Acolytes, they're all going to be there. Yeah, it's
Oh,
great.
that's
It's great. Jim Duggan, a couple other people. I think it's and every year there's just more and more. It's crazy. It's really
See, I
cool.
like shit like that, you know what I mean? Because it makes me relive my childhood, you know what I mean? Going back and meeting the guys I grew up watching, you know what I mean? That influenced me to what I do now, you know, what I did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I haven't done anything like that in a few years, and the last time I was asked to go, it was when the Sandman was in Albany. And I was like, "Hey, you want to go?" And I had been told certain things by certain people, and I was kind of new to the business. And they're like, "I'm like, nah, that's all right. I really shouldn't be seen there because actually down in Albany, I am kind of recognized. I'm like, I shouldn't be seen in line paying for an autograph. I'm sure maybe I'll meet him at some point." And I did, and I ended up getting caned by him a few times and shit. So I'm like, all right, it worked out in the end, you know.
The spot I did with Sandman, it was out in Jersey, and it was for IWA, and he came in, swung the when he went to swing the kendo stick at me. I grabbed my partner and I put him in front of me. And then he got hit with the cane, and I just fucking pouted out.
Oh, that's heel shit right there. That's amazing.
I got to hang out with before the show we were at, and he, you know, what are we doing later? And I kind of told him because King had told me what was going on. I'm like, all right, it's gonna be this and that, and he's gonna come out and can the shit out of everybody. I was like, oh, all right. I guess I was cool to him. So where everybody got one shot, I got three. He did me a favor and caned me 3 fucking times in front of my family. I'm like, I love this. This is great.
This just hurt.
Yeah, well, it was worth it.
Yeah. When we had the cage match, we had kendo sticks in there. So the cage match was outside, and it was like 30 degrees outside, and it was like April, you know, so it was still cold, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was, the show ended at 10 at night. It was the main event. Well, it was like 10:30. It was the main. The weather dropped to like 38, 37 degrees.
That's cold.
Now picture being out there, no shirt, and getting whipped by a kendo stick.
No.
Yeah.
No, I took plenty of kendo shots. That's I can't imagine when it's that cold.
Dude,
no.
Like all the hair on my body just stood on end at the thought of that pain. All right.
Yeah.
Like,
It's gonna be we had
thumbtacks, we had kendo sticks, we had the barbed wire. Yeah. I had the handcuffs. I cuffed my opponent to the cage and climbed over, you know. Fucking Ben grabbed his fucking flag and helped me pull down from the cage.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was like one of my most favorite matches I've had, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the one where Salvio Vega was fun too, you know. You know, just translating a whole match in Spanish, you know what I mean? That was cool.
Right.
You know, I never worked the whole match in Spanish, so
that's awesome.
You know? Yeah.
He's one of those guys out. He's one of those guys that I always wanted to like come across and then never. I mean, I haven't yet, but like I always hear just how freaking awesome he is. Just
man, he's dope, man.
Solid dude.
Yeah, he runs a big promotion out in Puerto Rico as well. Probably one of the 2 biggest ones out there. It's called IWA. That's his.
Nice.
Oh, I know about the IWA down there. Yeah, they're fucking nuts down there.
Yeah, that one. Richard Holiday was one of his champs.
Oh wow.
Point.
Another
Yeah,
dude,
he's
solid.
He had the Caribbean Championship.
Nice.
Yeah. Nah, man, it was some good shit. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, you know, hopefully, you know, we'll get to see you do the manager thing. Show up, you know, with somebody that you co-sign is worthy enough to be, you know, a protege.
Yeah, right
You
now
know,
I can't really co-sign anybody. You know what I mean? Because
that's what I'm saying.
they're a bunch
I
of
can't
fucking
imagine.
bozos, you know?
Yeah, yeah, they're gonna have to be. You know, if it's some young person, they're gonna have to be real different
Yeah.
than whoever's there.
One
Than
thing I've
whoever most
learned
people are.
from this, being in the wrestling business, which is funny, that's why I kind of separate myself from all the other shit. You know, I've learned that I could say a good 75-80% of the wrestling business and the indie scene is pussy.
Yeah, yeah,
As far as the
I would
wrestlers, you know what I'm
absolutely
saying? Like
have
these
to agree
motherfuckers,
with
you know
you.
what I mean? It's just wrestling, you know what I mean? Like
right.
it's not that serious, yo. And they portray this tough guy shit, you know what I mean? And in and out of the lot, like was one thing out there. Do it for the fans, you know what I mean? Don't do it for me, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't care,
Right.
you know. Like, you know,
No, exactly, because there's one guy who likes to portray himself as a big tough guy, and I come along. All right, he doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't care. I'm here to have a good time, and make a little bit of money. All right. Well, now he's trying to steal my move. Now he's trying to steal my fucking nickname. Now he's trying to steal. Well, fuck, you've been around a decade longer than me. Leave my shit alone. Come up with your own stuff.
fuck,
And
man.
he was a bitch about everything. Wouldn't even shake my hand. Whatever. Which honestly doesn't break my heart because fuck him. But so many of these guys was a bunch of pussies.
Some of this shit like, it's like egos and shit, man. Like this shit just gets to them, man. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just wrestling, man. Just go out there, have fun, man. You know what I mean? Make moments.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
entertain the
It's
crowd.
like, what have you done?
Have fun while you're doing it. You
Yeah,
know?
man. One thing I've
What have
learned from working with Ben is and he always said it, make moments, man. Go out there and make fucking moments, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, exactly. Like what Ben said to me, like at the first 2CW show. I'll never forget it as a moment. You know what I mean? It's just you get a moment from somebody, you don't forget it. So that's a big thing.
Garrett, you're one of my moments in the business.
Oh God,
which one? What did you do? Fucking, there was that St. Johnsville show where we weren't at the normal school, we were at the other school, and you found out your belt was coming into play, and I was the one that got to tell you.
Oh yeah,
dude, you pissed, shit, and came all at the same time, and the look on your face. Man, I wish I had a fucking camera going, man.
I was knelt down. I was into the the bin that I was carrying all my stuff, and he comes up and tells me, and I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean? What? This is happening now? Is this real? This is happening?" Like, yeah, I didn't know what to do. Like, I was just kind of standing there for a second. I was like, is this gonna happen? And then they were like, yeah, but you're gonna go out and you're gonna introduce it. And I was like, I haven't been in front of a crowd in a minute. Like, the last time I was, it's like I used to be in a band, so like I was like, okay, I can do it, but it's a little bit different. And I was like, okay, I can do this. Let's go. Like it's different. So.
Well, later on in the night, you were like, you're just like standing there, and you're like, this is the greatest moment of my life. And I'm like, dude, you got kids. And you're like, well, yeah, but I mean, I got a belt now, and I mean,
I'm talking professional stuff.
No, you said overall out of your mouth.
Don't get me in trouble.
All right, kids don't.
I get in enough trouble.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, Blaze Haram, we appreciate you coming, spending this time with us.
Absolutely,
an honor.
If you start doing the manager thing, we absolutely love to have you back. Talk some more wrestling, talk about whoever you happen to imagine at the time, and yeah, we'll
absolutely, man. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
you guys was awesome. You, Coffin. You guys were dope.
Hey,
I'm
hit
honored to
him,
be
hit
the
him again
first
with,
guest, you know, so that's dope, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know,
hit him
and
again with where to find your music, man.
oh no, you could just go search Someplace Hip Hop on Google, you know what I mean? Just basically Google that, you know, you can find shit on YouTube, Someplace Hip Hop, you know, mad shit will pop up and on all digital streaming platforms, you know, Spotify, iTunes, you know.
It's
Find
on
a lot of my
Bandcamp. Bandcamp's a good one to go to. A lot of times it's easier because it's
Yeah, but the main domain, you know what I mean? The main one is Bandcamp. You know, you could just go to
Yeah.
Someplace Music, someplacemusic.bandcamp.com, you know.
yeah.
All right.
And you could check my shit out there. I got a single out now, you know, it's, myself featuring West Coast artist Planet Asia. It's called The Setup. So you could check that out. It's dope. No bullshit hip hop here, you know what I mean? It's lyrics, dope beats.
Yeah.
You know, we don't do no hubba the huh.
Yeah. No. That's not rapping.
We don't do none of that shit, man. I do some dick kicking hip hop here, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it
Excellent.
fucking should be.
Yeah. That's how it should be.
Yeah, facts. But
All
yeah,
right.
man.
Everyone check
guys
that
have-
out. Make sure you stream his stuff. You hear me? I know
Definitely,
you
man.
people.
Yeah,
So yeah.
stream my stuff. If I find out you ain't streaming my shit, I have to pull out the gimmick again. You know what I mean? Chase y'all motherfuckers, and I don't want to do that. You know. So, you know, but Blake Salon's
Excellent.
locked away. He's out in Medina somewhere. You know. He's dug 911 feet down on the ground. You know. You know.
That's awesome.
But he'll be all right. You know.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Well,
fellas. You guys have a good night. Thank you
You
for having
too.
me once again. You know, and we'll
absolutely.
chop it up soon, man. You know.
Sounds
Hell
good.
yeah, man. Hope
All
to see you
right,
soon,
fellas.
brother. Thanks for being here.
Peace.
Right. And we will see the rest of you next week. And